All Three Beards Media podcasts originate from the Gravitate Coworking Studio, sponsored by Revelton Distilling Company.
Drop it.
Welcome back to another edition of the Ball Don't Lie podcast. We are brought to you from the Gravitate Co-working Studios and Revelton Distilling Company. We are in season 4, episode 14, I believe, of the Ball Don't Lie podcast. I'm Ted Hawley, as always, here, joined by me by Justin Smool. Justin, what's up, buddy?
Nothing, man. Just a week flying by.
Flying by. We are coming off a 5-0 weekend, which is always nice to have. Perfect timing.
Yeah, perfect's good.
Perfect's okay.
Yeah.
I'll take 5 on that one.
Yep.
It was the new quarter for our Circa standings there too. That moved us to 43-27, just under 62% on the season. I think we're around like 220th place right now. We're 5 picks out of we have 43 wins. 49.5 wins is currently in first place. 47.5 is in 10th. And they pay the top 100, which is 44.5. So we are a game and a half.
We're right there. We are right there.
We stay in the websites with the 3 W's the rest of the way. We should be in pretty good shape.
But get a little check at the end of the season then.
That's always a good thing.
Yes.
But the games get tougher as the year goes on. We know that. And the dirtier, the filthier, the better at times.
Yep.
But this is a weird one for me. I have 5 plays I think I like. They look a little different, some of them, than the Circa plays that came out at noon today. But I'll kind of just see where your head and how you felt about the lines. I know sometimes we don't feel as great about it on Thursday as we do on Friday, so I'm hoping that's the case again.
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, before we dive, I don't love anything at first glance. I've dug into a little bit, not a whole lot. I always get a better feel for it to where I want to go come tomorrow afternoon, right before we submit. I kind of get a little bit better feeling.
I agree with that.
I'll be curious to see which ones we agree on or disagree on, and that also helps us kind of narrow it down too from there. So we do a pretty good job of kind of doing that. And if we have to add a random game, we're knock on wood.
Happens a lot.
It's been pretty nice to us by doing it. So
the random games that aren't any of our cards have actually been very good to us this year. It was a good thing to find another game. Again, just to recap last week a little bit before we get started. I went 5-1 on my card to put me at 42, 31-2 on the season. You went 5-1-1 on your card. Like you said, take that Raiders push all day in that ugly game.
Yep.
To put you at 45, 39-5 on the season, and again 5-0 on our Circa plays to get to 43-27 on the season. So if you've been following all our cards this year, you're making money.
Yeah, if you've been playing only 5 games and it's our 5 Circa, we'll send you our address at the end of the season.
Oh, that's good. We got some text this week. So always we don't get as nice a text when we don't 5-0, but
it's that we get more hate. We get more hate when we go 3-2. It's like, wait a minute. Come on, guys. 60% is really good.
You made money.
Yeah, it's like, come on, 3-2. It's like, it's like everyone's let down. It's like, oh, guys, come on, you gotta do better. It's like, man, this is the hardest contest in the world.
Yeah, it's funny, but that's part of it. And like I said, we do stand by our picks. We don't run from it. And here we are. And so I'll go ahead and kick us off. I actually got this line at 5.5 when it opened, but I'm going to play Denver at +4.5 right now. So I'm kind of seeing it everywhere.
Okay.
The lines are reeling right now. I think this should have been a 3-point spread. I think we're getting a little bit of money here too. I think Denver is more than live in this game. Detroit, the back end is really, really bad right now. They're playing like they play they like to play in control at the lead where they can just pound that run and do it. Jared Goff has built to play with a lead. Two, look, he's obviously way better indoors. This game's in Detroit, so that is a good thing for them. But I fully expected this line to be around 3. I was shocked when I saw it open on that, and I hammered it at 5.5, to be honest with you. But I will put the Broncos at plus 4.5 on my card, and I'll be springing some money line in there as well.
Okay. I actually kind of lean just the opposite. Only here's the thing I don't get. So in this particular game is that the Chargers were 3-point favorites last week. And yes, Herbert got hurt, but I mean, that's saying the Lions are only 1 point better essentially than the Chargers. And we all know that isn't true. So that's where I feel like it kind of feels like a buy low spot for Detroit. But as you mentioned, they're reeling. It's just a weird line to me. It doesn't. The only thing that scares me from Denver too is third straight road game. I do not like teams on third straight road game. I think that's a valid concern. Because it's hard in the NFL to play on the road. And
Sure it is.
And it's really, I mean, you don't have too many teams a year that play 3 straight in the road. In fact, it's very rare. But that would be my only concern. So I just don't like the game.
That's it, man. It could probably be a stay away from us at that point too. Yeah. But I will take the Broncos for my first play plus 4.5.
All right. I don't know. I'm going to lay it. Miami minus 8.5 over the Jets. The look ahead here from last week was this line was as high as 12.5. It just feels like the ultimate buy low spot with Miami right now. Jets coming off a nice win. I just still believe Saleh should be fired for what he did to Zach Wilson. I think he cost them a potential last spot in the wild card by doing that. Zach Wilson just plays better at home. The Jets play better at home, period. Just look at what they've done this year. I think Miami's going to be full of piss and vinegar. Well, I'll take him in a great bounce back spot at a cheap, in my opinion. I know it's not a cheap price, but it feels like a discount. I mean, just go back about 3-4 weeks. The Dolphins were laying 13.5 or 14 to my Raiders. I mean, are the Raiders and the Jets really that big a difference? No.
The concern here, I actually leaned the other way, and I sprinkled a little bit at the Jets at 9.5 when it came out there. I got to see what Tyreek's ankle's like, because if Tyreek Hill plays 10, 20% of the snaps again, they are a different football team when he's not playing.
I don't disagree.
And they just lost their probably all-pro center for the season. Those injuries on the defensive side are starting to add up for Miami a little bit too. But Tyreek Hill, if he's not a full go, that game scares the crap out of me, and I'd lean the other way hard.
Okay.
So it'll probably be a stay away for me.
Okay.
I have another game here that you're going to go. You hate them, and it's against it too. But look, you talk about the Panthers here. What is there to play for right now? They are. I think have you officially cut them off now too? Or are you going to go back to? I know they've been bearing you lately.
No, are you taking the Falcons?
I'm taking the Falcons.
Yeah.
The Panthers. We were against each other in that game last week. That was your one miss. Was the Panthers again? I had the Saints on that one. Yeah. Look, the Falcons blew on last week. Opened that division wide up again. The Panthers just. Man, it's just you're sitting at 1-12. There's no reason for them to tank because they don't have their pick. But boy, they just have not looked good at all.
They haven't. The only thing that scares me here is just Atlanta. I feel like they're going to be pretty popular, but I mean, I get it. I understand the logic here. There's just certain teams I don't like laying numbers with, especially on the road, and Atlanta would fit that criteria because I just don't. They're not built that way, but.
I typically don't play them in this spot either
that
much. I just think this is a potential, like you might get the fold the chairs and pack it in this last month from the Panthers to where if Atlanta comes out and smacks them by 2 touchdowns, you can start seeing some big lines with whoever Carolina plays the rest of the way. I just don't think that the Carolina Panthers should be within a field goal line of anybody in the NFL right now. Like, it doesn't matter who they are. You line them up. I don't think it should be 3 points. I think we're actually getting some value with Atlanta here.
Yeah, they're bad. I mean, then Bryce Young, that guy's horrible. He's so bad.
I mean, if you're a Panthers fan on that too, and the rumor is it was the owner that wanted him and the coaching staff that you got rid of one of the other guy, which you'd think maybe is a reason to come back around that. Frank Wright's a class act, said all the right things.
Yep.
But you have to just hope that this is just a staff thing, but it's not. You have an impatient owner who wants to come into that mess. Like this takes for somebody that maybe has a little bit limited skill set that look, he's quick, but he's little. He doesn't have a huge arm.
It's horrible. You can't read a defense.
It's just look, I can give him a little bit benefit out there, a tad, because the offensive line play has been so bad and they cannot run the football. Like it is just to be a little limited. It looks like he probably is. Like, man, yeah. I don't get where you could want to come to that situation with him right now. I mean, if you're like, hey, I'll be the Panthers coach, I'm sure we're the first pick in the draft, right? No, that's going to the Bears. And that's what makes the Bears situation. They have so many picks in the top 3 rounds. They might have the first and they might have 2 top 5 picks. Yep. One's probably going to be the first pick. I mean, Carolina has to rip off a couple wins, and that's not happening in the last 4 weeks. I think the number 1 pick is going to be. They might even be able to lock it after this game this weekend too. But we got a question here from Drew Shipley. Washington would tell Carolina to hold their beer.
Washington's way better spot.
Washington is so much better because they can actually move the football. I actually look. I'm not sure about Sam Howell. What his future will be there too, but that guy's going to be somebody that'll hang around and be. He's got some Ryan Fitzpatrick.
You get a better roster around that guy. You look at Washington's offensive line is putrid, horrible.
It's not good.
It's horrible. He's running for his life back there. I like Hal. I think Hal has a future. I really do.
I'm trying to look up. Josh Melbar asked what some buy low Super Bowl futures are here. And it's not. I mean, popping up right now.
Let's see. I would, off top of my head, I don't know odds, but let's just see if we can go top of my head. I would find the Dolphins right now.
So I got them here. The Dolphins would be a good one. I think with the Cowboys, actually, they're both plus 800 right now. They're kind of the same team in both divisions. That look, when they're hot and when they're right, they're right. They can beat anybody when they're right.
What if you wanted a longer shot? What are the Bills?
I have it right here. So, and if you want the same 2 teams in the AFC and NFC again, I think the Bills and the Lions match up each other right with that.
I would agree.
And the Bills are plus 1,800 and the Lions are plus 2,200.
Those would be their 2 longer shots. And you might agree.
So, and you will not agree with me on this. If you really want some longer shots too, the Jags, if they can get themselves right, are plus 2,500. I know you disagree with me there, but plus
they just don't got a shot to win it though.
But I mean, even look right now, like the Ravens are plus 550. I don't see it, but that's decent odd. The Niners are plus 240. They're the favorite, but the Eagles and Chiefs are still plus 700. They were the favorites. What, 3 weeks ago?
I would take Dallas and Miami over Kansas City at those odds all day, every day, right now.
I completely agree with you. I think the best bang for your buck is the Dolphins and Cowboys at plus 800, and then if you wanted to sprinkle a little bit of pizza money on top of that, your Bills and your Lions for your long shot if they get hot. And
I would agree.
Roll in the playoffs there, you can get them at plus 1,800 and plus 2,200.
Is there any because I just don't.
Yeah. There's the Broncos. Everybody's getting hurt in the AFC. Like that's what I kept saying is if you're in the AFC and you can get just a seat at that table, there's no bulldozers in the AFC right now like there's in the NFC. Like you don't want to see Dallas or even Philly really, but Dallas, especially the Niners, they're just those are bulldozers in the NFC. And I don't see that in the AFC. And it's late December time and it's time for Lamar Jackson to stop playing football again.
Yeah. I mean, it is weird. If you want to get goofy, you could. Going on the road the whole way is just tough.
Broncos. We're not saying the Broncos are done yet. We need
to
win out.
They're right.
We need to win out, and we need the Chiefs to lose one more game in that schedule. That's about.
Yeah, you got to win. You definitely have to win this week.
Put $5 on Denver plus 8,000.
I can't think. Those would be the only teams. Yeah, if you do like Jack. I don't like Jack. I don't think Jacksonville has a shot, but. If you like them, then they would make sense as well. You know
who I do like, and I think has a chance to win a game for sure in the playoffs is the
Green
Rams.
Bay?
The Rams.
Oh, okay. I was gonna,
They're plus 10,000 now, but the NFC is loaded. If you want to take some distant flyers, I'd go the AFC route, not the NFC. I don't see the Niners stubbing their toe against somebody that's not named Dallas. Philly.
the NFC is you got your 3 teams, period. You got your 3.
That's it.
You got your 3. And unless some major injury happens, which hopefully it doesn't.
We've had too many of those. I can't remember a year where we have this many marquee quarterbacks not playing football.
Right. No. Well, that's cool. That's funny. We agree. But I would, those would be the ones. Other than that, it'll be fairly chalky. Come.
I mean, while we're sitting here, I might as well just go ahead and preach what I'll go ahead and put $20 in the Dolphins and Cowboys while we're sitting here.
Yeah, there you go. Actually, too, the Bills, I would say that I'll go back and touch on it. Look, we neither one of us, I think, are Bills fans or Josh Allen fans, but if they are favored over Dallas this week, so if you just take that correlated with the Super Bowl price, look, they're favored to beat the Cowboys, and if they do beat them, their Super Bowl odds are dropping drastically if they win this game. So there is, not saying that they can, but if you want value, it's you got to do it now as opposed to after they win this week, because that value is going to be gone.
Sure.
All right, my next one, I feel like it's chalky. I'm gonna lay it with the Browns minus. It's 3.5 in the contest in Circa. I think it's a good time here to fade the Bears. They just feel like a team that kind of everyone's bought in on. They have improved. Give them credit. No, it's been nice to see. I think, they actually have a chance to go over the win total, which is crazy.
What is their record right now? They have 5 wins.
5-8. Yeah. Yep.
I need them to slow down. I have my under 7.5. They need to slow down a little bit.
Same. That was my favorite of the year. Them and Carolina under were my 2 favorites.
I have Arizona hammered under 4 as well too. So
yeah,
I mean, I'm kind of cheering for a push there. I think they're going to get another one.
Yeah. So, I mean, the Bears are off 2 in a row, 3 of the last 4.
Chris Shipley said the Bears are making the playoffs. No, they're not.
Yeah, right.
You don't want that. You don't want that. You want to stay at. You want your own pick to be in the top 10 too. In Carolina's pick.
Right. And look, so last week, I liked the Browns over the Jags, and that was I didn't even know I got the worst of the number, and that golden boy Trevor Lawrence still can't get home. I mean, and so now that line floated down to 1.5. I just think the Browns defense is the difference here. Fields this is going to be a challenging road game. Flacco has played truthfully outside of the 5-minute lackluster what he did.
That cost, which was just crazy. He played such good football the first.
Yeah, he's played
2 minutes of that football game, and then the last. Oh, it was just weird. It was
He's played really good, and I just think it just feels cheap to me here. It may be a public play, and that's okay, but.
I can maybe get behind you on this. We'll have to talk about this tomorrow, maybe. It would be the Browns or nothing for me, so that's typically we can kind of get behind that. Losing Delpit on the back end for the Browns, though, that worries me a little bit. But it's just the Bears have asked Fields to do so much with his legs for them to be successful, because for them to run the ball, he has to do it. They still have offensive line issues that are nuts, and he just makes up for it by getting the outside. Yeah. And I do think that the Browns are athletic enough in their front 7 to more than most probably to keep him contained on that. So I could get behind this one.
Yeah. Yep. Chris actually behind the scenes too. He added the Browns are 6-1 ATS at home this year.
Are they really?
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. That's a good stat.
Really good.
All right. I'm going to go a little probably we'll see if you agree with me. It's 3.5 on the list, but I got it at -3, and I just checked other books here too. It's -3 on DraftKings as well, and with my book. The Packers, -3. Look, we were both in the Giants. I had the Giants money line and some stuff too. They're the back end of our play. Everything was tilting that way. It felt gross. It felt dirty. It felt right. Yep. With that said, look, it's just because Love's going to have some of those games once in a while. I'm probably lower on the Bucs than you are too. I think Love's going to be able to throw the ball all over them.
Okay.
Because look, Green Bay has struggled to run the ball a little bit anyway. It looks like Aaron Jones is going to play. That does help with that. But this is just kind of the game plan should be going there, finding ways to get those guys the ball out in space and to throw the ball. And just I don't mind Dylan, but there's no burst there. So,
All right.
yeah.
I don't hate it. I mean, in terms of last week, right? Like, and I kind of alluded to it today. There's just certain teams that you just don't lay points with on the road in the NFL. Like, and all
Not 6.5.
no, and it's like, dude, like, yeah, you're hot, but the line's reflecting that you're hot. Like, it's buy low, sell high.
Sure.
I mean, and that's what it was with the Packers last week, and obviously we were spot on the whole way.
Sure.
I lean that way with you actually as well. The only thing that really scares me here is that Tampa can move the ball on the ground, and Green Bay's run defense is questionable at best. So
I love it at 3 a lot better than 3.5, obviously, too.
I would agree with that too. And then I do think the other concern though is the southern teams that have to go north. That's a concern, and I don't think Baker in the weather colder environment. That's a big concern for me too. So I would lean your way.
Yeah.
With the Packers. I don't even know where to go, man. This was a tough one. I'm gonna lay it with Baltimore. We're probably disagreeing here. I think it's a great buy low spot, truthfully. This Ravens team, man, they are good, and the Jags, yeah, they got a decent record, but the numbers, truthfully, for me, just don't add up. Lawrence has been less than impressive, in my opinion.
He's playing on one leg right now, too.
Yeah, he is. He moved around better than what I thought, to be honest.
I can't believe he played.
Yeah, he moved around pretty well. But this is all about the Ravens defense here for me. I think they can hold him in check.
No, I think this is actually a bad spot for the Jags right here. I actually could probably talk you into this one.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll talk about this one, but it's just this line should probably be a little higher than 3.
Yeah. Baltimore has, I mean, not that Jacksonville doesn't have a lot to play for, but I mean, Baltimore's right there for that first overall. That means
they need home field advantage.
Yep.
Like
it means a lot.
Yes, it does. The thing with them too is they got to figure out this Mitchell kid. I think even led the team in carries over Gus Edwards last week, which would be interesting to watch moving forward in some daily stuff. So
yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
I'm going to go to the Monday night game here, and I think this is a look. We said it. We were against Eagles twice in a row, and we said, look, it's not that we don't like the Eagles. We still think they're good. It's a bad spot for them in these situations, and we called them both right.
Yep.
It's time to come back to them now. I think the Seahawks are dead fish in the water. They have some serious, serious holes everywhere. And with as good as their receivers are, it's too hard to give them the ball. I don't think Kenneth Walker is healthy at all. I think that this is a spot where the Eagles come out and smack them around a little bit. So they're minus 3.5 on the road on Monday night, and I'll be hammering the Eagles there.
Well, this will be play number 1 for us.
There we go.
Yep, for sure. The look ahead here from last week was 6 or 6.5. I feel like we're getting a massive discount.
We're getting a massive discount right now. Like this, like you said, if this game was played 2 weeks ago, even with a healthy Geno, it's a 6-point spread.
Yep.
It absolutely is.
Yep. So I completely agree. And you know what? The Eagles, I get it. They're on another road game, but you know what? After following a loss like that, they should, they're going to be hungry here.
I'll probably do a reverse sweetheart. Actually, I'll probably bump this line up to like 6.5. I really, really do think the Eagles are going to thump them. I think they're going to win by 10 points plus.
All right. I don't know what we'll see what you agree. I don't know what the Chiefs are. I'm trying to find it.
They got them at 8 on Circa. I've seen it 7.5. You going to talk me in the Chiefs here?
Yeah, I'm on the Chiefs.
They're just missed for me to thinking about putting them on the card even. I have them down here at the question mark.
Okay. I think we talk about the buy low spot with Philly. I feel like this is a crazy buy low spot with Kansas City. A team that seems to have mailed it in. I think it feels like the Patriots. I mean, they've had plenty of spots to try and bounce back this week. And I would say there's probably no other team hungrier here than Kansas City after losing 2 in a row. When's the last time Mahomes lost 2 in a row? Has it ever happened?
There's no way it's been 3.
No, there's no way.
So
mean, they've barely lost 3 in a season.
Miami blowing that game too just completely opened the door up for more home games for them in the playoffs. If you look at their schedule ending the year is pretty weak. It's actually weaker than Denver's is down the season too. Like they have a legit chance, even especially if the Ravens would stub their toe. Like they have a chance to get the 1 seed again still. Mahomes has never played a road playoff game, and don't think that matters because it does a lot. Playing in Kansas City is a tough environment. They really want that too. So I'm absolutely with you. I had Kansas City minus 7.5 here on the card. It's 8 on Circa. I played at 8 too.
Yep.
I think that'll be our second play.
Okay. That's all I have, man.
You got 4 play. You got Kansas City too.
Yeah. And all favorites.
Talk me in or out of putting this on the card. This is going to be a really popular game again. Everybody's falling in love with the Bills. The Cowboys are dogs here. And boy, they are fun to watch. They are playing so well right now. Yeah. I know going up there, it's a big deal. The line is what it is, but the Bills secondary is just not good right now. I know we talk about their safeties forever, but they're not playing the same. They look old.
Yeah. This is interesting.
I feel like Dallas is going to win the game.
Yeah, I could probably be convinced here. I know I did listen to a guy, and he's really, really good, and he does like the Bills, but boy, I wasn't convinced on his angle, truthfully. I'm playing
the Cowboys. I'm playing the Cowboys +2.
All right. I can definitely get behind it here. I just Dallas is humming, man. They're humming, and I know people would counter flip this on me and say, well, it's buy low, sell high, but you could also argue it's a sell high spot here on Buffalo after that road win, right? So, just because Buffalo can't afford any slip ups to make the playoffs doesn't mean they won't.
Sure.
So yeah, I can get behind it.
I really do think there was maybe a corner turn for Dallas there too, and they can kind of see the writing on the wall there of making Philly go on the road in the playoffs and them, hoping that the Niners stub their toe on the way out. But I mean, just them getting to the conference championship game is a step that they got to take. It's been years since that's happened. Like as good as they finished the year, Dallas this year, they have to get to that game. Or I think McCarthy loses his job.
Yep, I would agree 100%.
Which is crazy standards, especially if he's going to win 12-plus games, 3 or 4 years in a row, whatever it is. It's more just turning in circles that I think he has to get that done with this group, especially because, I mean, hopefully everybody listened to us when you said to take the 2 different weeks with Brock and Dak for those MVP odds before they cranked up because he's the overwhelming favorite now.
Yeah.
The week you said it was fantastic odds too. So
it was, yeah.
Yep. Not anymore. I mean, it's not worth betting anymore.
No, I think when I said it, it was like over 30-1, I believe.
Yeah, it was. I don't know if it's quite that much. Brock's was, but
yeah,
man, it was the week you said a ticket. It was really good odds. So
yeah.
All right. Well, I got myself for 6 plays here, and you for 5. It looks like we only got 2 that we got the Eagles and Kansas City locked down for our Circa plays, probably for sure. So that's a good base to start with, at least.
Good start.
So I'll run through those here quick. Again, I want to thank everybody that came out to Revelton for the charity deal last weekend. That was really cool to see everybody out there. Good to meet some of the people in the podcast team with Three Beards Media. Chris did a great job hosting and doing all that. So appreciate everybody who donated and came out. It was a good turnout.
Yeah, it was great.
John Roberts won the TV, which is the one thing. Kaylee didn't want him to win when he was there. That was pretty funny.
That was hilarious.
It was hilarious. But all right, I'll run through our picks here quick. Again, I have 6 plays. I have you for 5. I had the Broncos +4.5, the Falcons -3, the Packers -3, the Eagles -3.5, the Cowboys +2, and Kansas City -8. For Justin, I have Miami -8.5, the Browns -3.5, the Ravens -3, the Eagles -3.5, and Kansas City -8. So we will keep trucking along here and, hoping for that 3-2 or better week again for our Circa plays. We'll tweet those out as we get them. I'll actually be in Omaha this weekend as long as the kids can stay healthy. So I won't be able to watch the Denver game live, which is going to be killing me. So I may be sitting there watching the Workaholics podcast guys doing that. I think they're coming to Annie's after the show too. So should be a fun weekend. Go Broncos. But more importantly, go our Circa picks. So That's
Right.
the
That's right.
the number one deal here. So
It is for sure.
all right, but if you don't have anything else, thanks again to our sponsors at Revelton and Gravitate Co-working Studios. Thanks again to Chris Spaghetti, who's in the background for us, and hopefully another hot weekend. And as always, cash that ticket.